Good morning. Today on this Plow-boy engineering channel, we doing some prepping for the summer and the rest of the year. I'm putting up collards. I put up about half in jars, about half in the freezer. I grow a lot of them, but there's a lot of people that don't know how to cook them. They think they do, but they don't. I've had some of that stuff that's just like, bless your heart. Anyway, we cooking collards the pure and true southern way. Nothing fancy. You just make them good. You won't put fancy mess in them. Put that in there when you get done, not while you cooking. So I've gone out to the garden. I've cut 4 head of collards. We're gonna put them in, and I'm gonna show y'all how I cook collards the southern way. Plain and simple. I am blessed with the fact that I got a sink outside. That stove will be working soon enough. That was actually my grandmother's stove. I got to change a few fittings on it, and we're gonna run it off a small tank. We don't have a big tank out back anymore, so I ain't gonna use that. I just got to get off my butt and get her done. But it's what we're using. I don't know how big that pot is. It's pretty dang big, and I'll put all 4 of those heads of collards in that pot when I get done. You got to remember, these things cook down a good bit. So I got my pot, got it on the burner, warming up. This is all I'm gonna put in it. That is about a 1/4 cup or so of brown sugar. That is 2 good sized smoked neck bones. Pepper, salt. That's it. You don't need to put nothing else in there. You just take these boogers right here. Kaploom. Kaploom. We get that brown sugar. Throw it in there. You can use white sugar, but brown sugar is way much better. And we're gonna shoot some pepper in there. And now we're gonna get this here salt going. Put some salt in there, and that's good for right now. You ain't want to put nothing else in there. You just want to let that start cooking down. And as you cook, when you get about halfway through, you're gonna check the flavor of it. Then you go add what you need. Normally, add some salt and some pepper. Don't never have to add more sugar. That 1/4 cup for that big old pot works just fine. That sugar cuts a little bit of the bitterness down and makes them collards good as gold. Next thing we need to do is, after that gets going, we're gonna start cleaning and cooking collards, or cleaning and cutting up some collards, and I'll show you how I do that. I'll add you later. Got 1 head cut off the stalk. I wash my collards 1 leaf at a time. That's just what I do. You wash them how you want. But I'll put on along and wash them 1 leaf at a time. Empty this sink to this sink. When this sink's full enough, I'll start chopping collard leaves. Getting ready to chunk them into daggone water. We're fixing to make some magic happen. Alright. Water's warming up. We're getting ready to chop up. My counter's clean. I just take my leaves and lay them down there like this. I got a couple of bad places. I cut them out as I go. Run right down the stalk on both sides. Got it out like that. That little bit of bad spot, I tear it off. Throw it in the trash. Get that one off, throw it in the trash. The rest of these are good. Now, a lot of people throw this away. And the reason is because the stalks do get tough if you cook the whole stalk. But I don't throw them away because they add flavor. I use some of this stalk. I cut about that much of the big stuff off. You see how big a piece that I'm leaving there? I'm gonna save that. We're putting that right back in. Cutting them up pretty daggone simple. 1, 2, 3. Bunch them up and just chop them. I try not to beat them up too bad. Some people try to wash these things in dishwasher and all that stuff, but that really just bruises the leaves. Now that my waters are rolling, as I cut them up, I just grab a handful of leaves and I throw them in the pot and move on to the next one. Cut. That's a good leaf all the way around. Throw about that much away. Keep that. When I get a big enough pile of those, I'm gonna chop them up real fine. And that's pretty much how I go about the actual leaf. Now we got some cut, we got some stems built up. All these stems are trimmed down, you know, about yay long. You don't want the big thick pieces in there. Just right there is about as thick as you want it. I don't know if you can see it, but about as thick as you want the stems. When I cut these up, I cut them up real fine. That way when they cook out, they will be tender and they'll turn all that flavor loose. Kind of like releasing the dogs on the rabbits. Get after it. Everybody likes my collards. Whether I got to work holidays or not, I still got to cook collards for everybody. A buddy of mine, I guarantee you, he's gonna see this video go up. He'll be taking notes. Ain't that right, Swan? It's pretty simple. Like I said, I'm lucky enough I got a place outside to do this where I can clean up and sweep up just fine. Can be messy to do it in the house, but that's cooking collards. Now, I got a lot more collards to cut up and put in the pot. And I'm gonna move this over here so you can see this wonderful pot going. Yeah, there you go. We rolling, collards cooking. In a couple of hours, I'm gonna have them all done, letting them cool down, and then we'll be getting ready to put them in the bags and put them in the freezer. Next time next time I cut you on, I'll be showing you what it looks like. We'll be testing for flavor and probably adding a little more salt and pepper. All right. I actually cut too many collards. Didn't realize how thick the centers of those heads were. Oh well, I got more neck bone and I got more pots. That's just gonna be more for the eating. Anyway, just tried it about halfway through. Really all you gotta do is try the pot liquor in it. You ain't got to scoop out a bunch of leaves and try them. Pot liquor is gonna tell you everything you need to know. Needs salt, needs pepper. You can always work that up. You can't work it out though. So you add little bits at a time. Because the day that you ever figure out how to get salt and pepper and whatever else out of a pot that you are cooking with, you're gonna make a lot of money. So a little more salt, a little more pepper. That's a big pot, so it takes a good bit. A good bit equals a little bit for the most part, but when you get toward the end, be careful with it. Too much salt is terrible. But there we are. Got 3 full heads cooked down. I got 1 head in the bullpen. Alright. Talk at you here shortly. Alright, they are done. All together, once they cook down, I let them simmer for about 2 hours. That's enough time to cook down and soften up them neck bones. And that's also enough time to really soften up those stems we chopped up fine and put in there. That's a perfect pot of collards right there. You don't need to add any vinegar or nothing like that to them when you're cooking them. That's just ruining collards. All you need is brown sugar, salt, pepper, and neck bones. You can add your vinegar later if you want it. Not everybody likes vinegar in the collards. Those with some cornbread, real cornbread, not that Jiffy box cornbread crap. That's junk. That ain't nothing but sweet corn biscuits. That's nasty. You need real cornbread, homemade cornbread, easy to make. Learn how to do it. Your family will thank you for it. All right, there's your lesson on cooking collards. I'll let y'all later.